Hi everyone, welcome to day 3 of From My Closet, a project that I kicked off to essentially help give the world a little bit of joy as we're going through some hard times together. My name is Jennifer Norman. I'm the founder of the Human Beauty Movement. It's a company that I started about a year ago, and the purpose of the Human Beauty Movement is to essentially up-level the beauty industry. I really want to help people focus on the beauty that's inside of them instead of what's outside of them. And as such, I've been doing a lot of soul searching myself, a lot of contemplating, and a lot of meditating. And today, as a matter of fact, I was sitting with a girlfriend, and she has been really instrumental on my journey and helping me to elevate my consciousness. And I appreciate being able to be around people who are of a place that I aspire to be. And so today she taught me something called automatic writing. I think that I had tried it once before, but I didn't get very far. I don't think that I was really in the headspace to do it. But today, essentially what we did was we put large blank pieces of paper in front of ourselves, grabbed a pen, really started to do some breathing, and got into the rhythm of just like thinking about stillness, thinking about nothingness. And with that, that creates space for inspiration to come down. What do I mean by that? Essentially what happens is when you get into a place where you can get your brain waves to get into, say, alpha level state, which essentially is the brainwave pattern, the frequency at which you are still awake, but you're still able to receive conscientiousness, you're able to get into a creative space. That is really the area of meditation where you're still awake and you're able to spark inspiration, you're able to spark creativity more so than perhaps you would be able to before. Now, I always had a hard time with meditating before because I had so much chatter in my head. They call that the monkey brain. It's essentially the part of the brain that just is connected to everybody else, it's connected to everything that's going on, and it really doesn't let you sit still. It doesn't let you focus on just being present in the current moment. It's essentially like, I'm awake, I need to get my coffee, I need to get dressed, I need to feed the kids, I need to go to work, I need to finish this project. It is all these things I need, I want. And with that comes this sense of responsibility and obligation. And so it's hard to get out of that mindset once you're in it. And that's why I had such a hard time meditating before, is that I was constantly churning. I was constantly on. It was very hard for me to settle down and for me to quiet the chatter in my brain. But eventually, with time and with practice, you kind of get there. It does take a lot, but eventually you kind of get there. And the more that you do it, the better that you are at it. I've also found that binaural beats is extremely helpful. You can go onto YouTube, you can go onto Spotify. There are thousands and thousands of binaural beats that you can look up. That will help you to essentially hear tones that are set to the proper frequency or megahertz that you want your brain waves to be in to get into a certain state. You can get into a focus state, a creative state, a deep sleeper or REM state. I definitely encourage, if anybody hasn't tried it, to do so. It's kind of like a little bit of a meditation hack, if you will. Anyway, so today we started doing this automatic writing, and it was really interesting where my mind started to go. It drifted off, and then ultimately I started to have these almost downloads of ideas. It was essentially like downloading things about where inspiration comes from. Now, inspiration can happen when you're driving. Sometimes you're actually in an alpha wave state when you're doing things that you're not really thinking about. It's kind of like almost you're in autopilot, if you will. It could be when you're in the shower. That could be why so many people are like, oh my gosh, I dreamed and I had this amazing idea. I can't remember what it is now, but back then I remembered it. Or I was driving, or I was just doing something where you didn't have to think so hard. It was just something that you automatically do. Even some people get ideas when they're just like, they have the TV on in the background. So it was just very interesting to find that during that space, I was really able to think about different messages and how people get attached to various messages. And what do I mean by that? It's essentially like if somebody puts out you know, it might be a comment or an opinion. It could be a political opinion on social media, and somebody instantly attacks that person for the message that they sent out. Well, think of yourself as being the messenger of downloads of your life. Think about how that might change your behavior, or that change your mindset and change your thinking. Think about if you were just the messenger and all your responsibility was to deliver these important messages and to essentially get them to the people who are meant to hear them. Wouldn't that be incredible? Wouldn't that be a bit liberating for you? You are not the message, you are just simply the messenger. And so if you think about your life as being a message, then there would not be an attachment to the message, because it's not yours, it's not your ego, it's essentially something that you are presented with, that you're sharing with everybody else. So you can go through life with complete immunity, if you will, to other people's opinions about what you think or how you are, or what you feel, because you are essentially placed on this earth to be a message. And what is that message? It's really intended to be about love. It's intended to be about light. It's intended to be about humanity and helping your fellow brother or sister in times of need and crisis. So there were a couple of messages that I kind of, thought about today. And one of them is this idea about getting close to nature, because nature has been so much a part of us, and a lot of times we as humans just forget about it. We kind of think about, pursue or subdue and have dominion over every living thing. But we forget about how connected we are until something like this happens and we are forced into isolation from each other, because the proximity of people and all of that just becomes so commonplace that only until we lose something do we necessarily, unfortunately, sometimes appreciate them even more. Kind of like when you lose a love, then all of a sudden you just want that love, even more than you had before. It's kind of just like a human nature sort of a thing. Anyway, so I guess in short, I'm essentially saying that I think that it would be important for us to, number one, take the time to meditate, find those quiet spaces, think about ways that you can really be in solitude, and just give yourself that moment, give yourself at least 5 minutes a day. Just try it. Try being with yourself, by yourself, for yourself, and see if you can find your center and find some inspiration and find some messages that are being downloaded to you at this time. Think about what those messages are saying. Think about who they might be relayed to and who they might be for. They might just be for your ears only. They might be for other people. If they are for other people, then you have absolutely every right to share it. And there's no reason why you should feel attacked if somebody doesn't agree with that message. There's no reason why you should feel upset if somebody decides to say something back that might be negative or refuting that message. So in that sense, I think that the inspiration that we have now is really one of connectivity. It's one of support. It's one of honoring Mother Nature. It's one of really respecting the fact that she's taking a breather right now. She's able to really renew herself and rejuvenate herself. And then we hopefully will come out of this with a richer sense of self, with a richer sense of community, and a richer respect for Mother Nature. So, as you know, that in the ending of these particular From the Closet episodes, I actually step into my closet, which is what I'm doing now, and I pull out something that I wish for somebody else to have. And today, I actually thought about this earlier today, because it's something that I have had in my closet for quite some time, and it's something that at one point was very special to me, but I no longer wear it, I no longer need it, and I think that somebody else will really enjoy it. Remember that I'm not asking for any money for these things. I don't care what happens to it once it leaves my home. You can keep it, you can gift it, you can sell it, you can do whatever you wish to. If you wish to make a donation just as a thankful contribution, that's totally cool. I'll put the PayPal information in the notes of this, in the comments and the caption of this video. And all of the proceeds will go to charity. Nothing will be kept. It's all really in the spirit of giving. So I have here a nice little Tiffany box. And inside this Tiffany box is beautiful Tiffany bag, and inside it's like one of those little dolls, the Russian dolls. I can never remember what they're called. This is a diamond necklace that has a heart on it. I don't know if you can see that up close. I think the focus might be a little off. I'll turn it around. It is genuine. I think that this was a few $100s when it was purchased new. But again, I'm giving it away for free. If you are interested in this, then just raise your hand somehow. Let me know. The only thing is that you just need to have an account that is DMable so that you can share your shipping address with me. I hope that this episode was fruitful for you. I hope you were inspired by it. If so, let me know. Let me know how you think I'm doing. And I've definitely also received some feedback, which has been really, very, very heartfelt for me. So I thank everybody that has commented. I thank everybody that has contributed and is supporting my journey, as well as your own. Till tomorrow, I will see you then. Bye.